Hey everybody, it's me, Ellen Vargo, back again for part 3 of our art journal page. Yesterday's collage video ended very abruptly because my battery died. So luckily we had finished all the collaging that we needed to do, and I was just trimming off the excess from the edges. The only thing that I did add after the video stopped was I added some of the leftover pod shapes onto the edges over top of the border. We lost too much of that color when we put the borders on, so I wanted to bring some of that back. So I just glued, I think four of the leftover pieces over top of the border just to give the piece some more color again. So that's the only thing I added. Today we're gonna do some lettering and some other embellishing of the page, and the first thing I'm gonna do is go around all of the map border pieces with, I think it's Stabilo All pencil. Let's see if you can see that. Stabilo All. It's a water-soluble pencil that you can kind of just very roughly outline something, and when you go over it with a water brush, it blends. So it's a great way to emphasize the definition of pieces and just give some shadows to things. So I like to use that a lot with collage, just to outline things, but not so it's a perfect outline, just so it gives an indication of what's going on. So your collage doesn't get lost in your page. You can actually see it. So I'm just outlining all of the border pieces that we did yesterday. And then I'll go over it with a water brush. So just regular water brush. And I just kind of get the water flowing, and then I go very quickly. Sometimes I like wipe it off in between. Sometimes that black really builds up and it becomes a little bit too much. I'll just kind of wipe it off every so often. You can see how that line is blending. If I can get it in the right spot, there you go. So I'll just finish going around. And the nice thing is it stays water soluble, so if you don't like something, just go over it and you can almost get rid of it. Leaves a little bit of a gray tone to it, but you know, you do have some control over how dark those lines are. Oops. Or if you make a mistake like I just did and dip your hand into it, that's okay. So that's the outlining. I'm not really going to do a collage like of a bird or a face or anything. I just like the background as it is. So I'm going to do some journaling over top of the background. I did this in a piece recently on another page in my art journal, where I just kind of drew a really sketchy circle and then journaled inside of it. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to use I think I'll use my Elmer's black paint pen to do the sketchy circle. It's called Painters, but it's actually by Elmer's. So this is their fine tip black pen, paint pen. So I'm going to shake it up. I will say the lid on this is a little hard to get off, but it comes. So I'm just going to get it going here, get it flowing. And then I'm just going to draw a very sketchy circle. And if it goes onto the borders, that's fine. It kind of incorporates it into the whole page. And get things flowing again. You can go over this as many times as you like until you're happy with it. If you want to use a bolder tip, that would be fine too, kind of help it stand out. So, just a real sketchy circle, just to give some balance to something for our journaling to sit in. So now comes the time for the actual journaling. You're probably going to be looking at this upside down, and the way I had to set up my camera, I don't know how to get around that. So, sorry about that. Let me grab some scrap paper. I'm just going to show you how I do my lettering before we actually do it on the page. Like if I wanted to write the word truth, I would just print it as I normally would. Just gonna get my pen going here. And I would do just T, R, U, T, H. So very simple, easy. What makes the lettering more interesting is just literally just draw a triangle at the end of each letter. You can kind of manipulate it as you go. You can make the letters taller as you go. And for this U, I might make the bottom a little fatter. And you just keep doing triangles, and all of a sudden you've got a letter that's a little bit more interesting. And then again, I'll make the H a little fatter at the top here. And then you can make it sketchy like this. Here, let me turn it around so you can see it. You can make it sketchy like that, or you can fill it in and be very precise. So that is how I do my stylized letters. You could also, let's do love, L-O-V-E. You could do a circle at the top. You can make the O a little bit bigger. Just kind of embellish the letters as you go. Start with your basic shape and then embellish it. Make that a little wider. My pen is running out. So that's another way. Whoops. Make it so you can see it. It's another way to make a stylized letter. I like the triangles myself. But just play with it. You can do really anything. I'm going to switch pens here because this one appears to be getting a little dry. And we'll go back to our journal page. This is a Sharpie medium point black paint pen, oil-based. I really do like the oil-based better. I haven't had as much luck with the water-based pens. And it gives a really nice shiny finish. So let's shake this one up and get it going. And then I have chosen a quote that I used in another art journal in a class, and it is, "The artist who aims at perfection in everything achieves it in nothing." And I love that, because in my day job, I'm an accountant, so everything at work is very precise and has to be right and black and white, no gray. So art is all about messy imperfection, lots of gray area. So let's just start with the journaling and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start by just doing the whole quote in regular printing. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's see if that's better. So we'll start with the artist. The hardest part is knowing where to start. The artist. And you can mix up your letters. Who aims at perfection in, this is going to be interesting, I'm running out of room, everything, and you just keep on going. Achieves it in, I think we're barely going to make it, in nothing. We're going to go over some of this with a white pen, so it's going to stand out more. So let me turn that upside down so you can see it. The artist who aims at perfection in everything achieves it in nothing. So that's our regular printing. Now I'll go back and do my triangles and make it a little prettier. Hopefully my hands aren't in the way. So I'm probably going to make these letters a little bigger as I go, just trying to fill in space. This fatter pen also makes it easier to make the letters a little cleaner looking, not so sketchy. Depending on what you're going for. Oops. Artist. So there's our lettering. Now it doesn't stand out very much right now because it's sort of blending in with the darkness, the darker areas of the background, but when we go and outline everything with a white paint pen, it's all going to pop right off the page. So let me go ahead and do that. And this is, I know, not terribly exciting to watch, but I know there's some of you out there who wanted to see how I do my lettering, so that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, big. Gotta be careful with paint pens. Sometimes they gush on you, like mine just did. Luckily, it wasn't on the page. Whoa. I think I just lost the tip of my paint pen. I did. Just put it back in. There we go. All right, here we go. So I'm just outlining every letter. I'm going to try and do this somewhat quickly so that this video doesn't go on forever. Maybe I'll experiment with speeding things up when I edit this. All right, so there is our lettering all finished. I'll turn it around for you. So again, the artist who aims at perfection in everything achieves it in nothing. Zoom back out. There we go. So that is our completed lettering. And if we wanted, we could add in some of that, you know, textures that I've been doing lately, just with a paint pen, whether it's, you know, little dotty textures around the outside. I could just kind of get my pen going here. Shake it up. Boy, I think all my pens are running out at the same time. Oh well, we'll do what we can. Let's see if the other one's got any juice left. Whoa. That's better. So we could do just some dots. Just kind of fill in the spaces. And kind of, you can go over your collaged areas if you want to. Here, I can zoom in again. You can see what I'm doing. So we'll move over, and we'll just do the corners. I love these dots. It's such an easy way to fill in space. We'll do this corner. Again, I'm working in vertical pattern. Staggering the dots. Quick and easy. And we'll do this corner. Turn it so I don't smear what I just did. There we go. So just the corners. And then I'll dry that real quick just to make sure they're dry. And then I'm going to take that white paint pen again and just very lightly, I'm going to do a white paint dot in the center of each of the black ones I just did. Makes a big difference. See that? So you can do black with white on top, or you can do big white dots with a little black in the middle. It doesn't really matter. I just really like the texture it creates. And again, I'm not worried about being completely precise. If I miss, I miss. Nobody's gonna know. And last section. So again, zoom out. So there's our finished page. A little more. There we go. So there is our finished art journal page. I hope you enjoyed following along as I created a page, and hope you give some of these techniques a try. And I will see you next month. Bye.